I don't know where everybody is this morning, but I'm gonna stay on here until I go back up to my room. Good morning, y'all. I got something to tell y'all. So give me a second. I'm gonna go outside.
Got something to tell y'all, but I gotta tell you outside. There's too many people in here. Okay, I'm going outside on here. Come on out here. Sit out here and tell y'all something. So, oh boy. Ooh, all right. Good morning, everybody. So, again, this is the hotel where I got sick. Let me wipe this off. A couple of years ago, and had to end up going to the hospital. But this is it right here. This is the hotel right here. But anyway, so I came on here because it's not that many people on here, but I want to tell this story because I was up late washing and getting ready for my trip to Austin for the radio show. And let me tell you how short life is and how you have to. The point is that you don't have to watch. And I'm already finished eating. The point is we don't even care about your point. It's called PT's point of view. Well, I was joking too. So anyway, so you just never know how short life is. And nobody knows when you're gonna leave here and how you're gonna leave. You know, hell, I could be sitting out here and something fall on the top of my head. So anyway, I have a subscriber of mine. She follows me on YouTube and she follows me on TikTok, which I'm really not on TikTok anymore. And we talked randomly. She had surgery and everything, and knee surgery, and she kind of been down, with her knee surgery, but she's slowly, making her way back. And well, first of all, there's a lady who used to follow me not too long ago, and her name was Joelle. And Joelle, she just disappeared. She was in my live, and she was a moderator, and she said she was coming to my comedy show in July. And all of a sudden, she just disappeared. And everybody kept asking me, "Have you heard from Joelle?" No, I hadn't heard from Joelle. I don't know what happened. I know she said she was taking care of her mom. But I haven't heard from her. I hope she's okay. I hope she's, But how would I know? I'll probably never know what happened to Joelle because I didn't have a phone number. I didn't have no email address. If I did, I don't remember because she had just started following me. And she just like disappeared because people were asking me for the longest, "Where's Joelle?" I said, "I don't know. I haven't heard from her. I don't know where she's at." But anyway, so this lady who was following me, she goes, I won't say her whole name, but I'll just say Miss Jackson. Her last name is Jackson. Well, we've been friends a long time. I think she started following me on TikTok, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe YouTube, I don't remember, but she's been a moderator. She's been a friend of mine for a long time. She lives in the DMV area. And we used to contact each other through phone number. She has my phone number. I have her phone number in my phone. Or either TikTok or Facebook or something, So she hit me up last night. She said, PT, I've been looking for you. I'm like, "What's wrong?" She said, "My house caught on fire and I almost died." What? She said, "Yeah." She said the next door neighbor was smoking crack, and her house caught on fire, and the house that caught on fire, it burned down. The house next to her on the right, it got damaged too. And the only thing that saved her was her friend that was there with her. They didn't hear anything. Like they didn't hear anything. Because a lot of times when you sleep, and a lot of people die from smoke inhalation more than fire. It's not the fire that kills people most of the time. It'd be the smoke. And if you in your sleep, and let's say the fire starts, and you don't realize that the fire started, and you land in your bed, by the time you get up, you can't get out because, that's why it's good to always have your smoke detectors working, because you never know, when you're in a deep sleep, you just don't know what could happen. So she said that her friend had to carry her down. Mind you, let me remind you, I just told you that she had knee surgery on both of her knees. So he had to drag her down the steps so that she wouldn't get unalived in the fire. And I said, well, what the fuck would have happened if I had known if I had known? She sent me pictures. It was horrible. It was bad. And I said, well, just imagine what would have happened if she died in that fire and I didn't know, because I wouldn't have known. I don't know her. I know about her son, her daughter, and her family, but I don't know them personally. Which brings me to this, a lot of you who watch me, you regulars who watch me, you may not want to tell your family members about me, but it's okay. Say, hey, I watch this guy on YouTube. He's a pretty cool guy. He's crazy from time to time, but if anything ever happens to me, make sure you get in contact with him, because I lost 3 of my YouTubers through COVID, and I didn't find that they had died till months after they had passed. I just thought they disappeared. I mean, just because a person watched me today, that's not guaranteed they're going to watch me tomorrow. They got their own life. They're doing their own thing. You just, you just move on with your life, and people do what they do. And it was 2 of them. They were my favorite. They were my top-notch PT punchers, is what I call y'all. And her name was TT, who I love and miss to this day. And it was TT and Annie, and they're actually still moderators on my YouTube channel. They're just deceased. And I think TT died first, and then Annie died. And I hadn't heard from TT because TT was like, she was like a big PT puncher, like PT fan. She, like, when I was wanting to do something, like want to go on the radio station or want to do this one, that she'd be emailing. She's very, 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 very intelligent. She could email. Unfortunately, she'd have legs, and I didn't find it out till later. We became very close. I was able to send her children clothes, and no, not clothes, but school supplies and stuff. I tried my best to try to help her out because she was going through a lot, And then I looked up one day, and she was gone, and I didn't find that out about TT till I looked online, because her name is so. Like if you look her up, you're gonna find her. Her last name was Go Million. Like, who has the name Go Million? But there are Go Millions out there, and that must be an Indian name, Go Million. So I went to look, and I said, well, where's TT? Because she was having problems with her phone, and I hadn't heard from her. I actually had sent her a phone, but she couldn't get nobody to fix it or help her with it or whatever the case may be. And she ended up, I don't know, I just didn't know what happened. I hadn't heard from her. I figured, maybe she got her own life. She's doing her own thing. And we were very close, so I couldn't understand why I hadn't heard from TT. I said, well, maybe her phone is. I kept calling the number. TT, where you at? It's PT, I'm looking for you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And because when I found out that she had no legs, I told her, don't you ever send me another dime. Because, most people follow me, they send something through Cash App, Venmo, or whatever. I said, don't you ever send me nothing ever again. If you do, I'm sending it back. Because I didn't know she didn't have any legs. Because I don't know what people's situations unless they tell me. And when she told me that, I said, oh, no, baby, don't you, I don't need you to send me nothing. Just support my show, share my live. That's all I need you to do. When I looked online, she had died. She had been dead 6 months. Same with Annie. I said, well, let me go see if I can find Annie. And it was the same situation with Annie. Annie had died, and she had died. I'm sure they died from COVID. Yeah, I'm sure they died from COVID. It was around COVID time. That blew me. They were my favorites. Those two ladies were they were like my family. Oh my God. And then the last lady that died, I've told this story a million times. She actually was, when I first met her. I don't have any of my regulars on here, but if anybody watching, if you see me, can you tell me is my live distorted or it looks okay? Because I don't know. I'm not. I don't have my other phone with me to see what my internet looks like. I don't have my laptop, not my laptop, but my iPad to see what my internet looks like. So I don't know if it's distorted. It's okay. Okay. And so therefore, so the other lady that was following me, she found me on YouTube, and we became friends. And okay, we became friends, and all of a sudden, I said, we talk all the time. Let's go on the Facebook and talk. I want to see what you look like and see who. So when we went live, she was talking to me like this in the dark. I said, "Why are you in the dark? What's going on with you over there?" And she said, "Oh, so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, he is so pretty. How are you? Look, y'all. Look at the pretty dog. Male or female?
Now,
Oh,
Rocky,
I
he's
don't
four
have
and
no,
a half.
I don't have no food.
He just wants you to pet him.
Oh, really?
Little
Okay.
foodie.
Yeah.
He just likes love.
Oh my God. Looks like what do you call them? Not a werewolf, but a husky or something.
He's an Icelandic
Oh,
sheepdog.
yeah. My goodness. Just big and healthy. Oh my goodness. Take care.
You too.
Bye bye. So, get your ass. So anyway, so so yeah, he was cute. So hello UK, hello. So anyway, so she said she was in the dark. I was like, why are you in the dark, child? What is going on with you? She said, oh, PT, I got something to tell you. I'm like, what is it? Why are you in the dark? I can't see you. I don't, are you a stalker? What's going on with you? She said, I'm in a women's shelter. She said, I got been abused by my husband. And it's like her third or fourth time. She said, me watching you're alive makes me want to live again because I wanted to take my life. And I was fucking done. Oh my God, I cried. I said, I don't mean no harm, but I'm gonna hit you back, okay? We're gonna talk. I think I cried 30 minutes straight because I tell people all the time, well, my mother told me when I was a little boy that I have a ministry. It's not like a Jesus type ministry. No, it's just that she told me, she said that God has his hand on your life and you're gonna touch people's lives when you get older. She always told me that. And when I was a little boy, a teenager, I would go and pray for people, but I've never had the calling like that on my life. Not like a Jesus type calling, but just like I've always cared for people and I've always cared about other people. I'm very sensitive to other people's needs. Even though I come on here and cuss people out, I'm really a good person. And she touched me so hard. I mean, she's not the first person that's ever told me a sad story like that. Like, oh my God, I've had people email me about they wanted, listen. This one lady, I was live one night on my YouTube channel and I was playing the piano, singing and laughing and everything, making everybody laugh. Why did she come on and say, PT, she said she had cancer and she was going through chemo and she thought about taking her life, but because of my lives, she said because of my lives, she decided she don't want to take her life. So mind you, I'm sitting up here on the piano, laughing and making people laugh, and I got this makeup on, and I just instantly just broke down. I said, "Ma'am, I can't do this," and I cried so hard I had to hang up the live. And I told her before I hung up, I said, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And I just do what I do. I'm here to make people smile and laugh, even though I cuss you out. But my job is to try to make people happy. And like, I mean, she wasn't the first one. There's been so many people have emailed me and told me so many sad stories about my content, how I make them laugh, make them want to live again. When people tell me they want to take their life, oh, that's oh, that's too much for me. That's too much for me to bear. And I'm like, well, that's why a lot of times when people come out here, they don't really know this is a ministry. This is a ministry, a laugh ministry. This is a healing ministry to help people heal from what are the things that they're going through. But even though it doesn't seem like it half the time. The comedian Lunel, the lady Lunel, the real lady with the blonde hair Lunel, that lady, she started following me because she say I give very good content. And she say, listen, I graduated from high school, but I didn't go to some school to be a scholar, and I don't use big words. But she say, you give good advice, PT. You give good advice. I watch you, and even though you be funny stuff, you still give good advice. And I said, oh, Lunel? The real Lunel? I couldn't believe it was her. I had doubts that it was her. Yeah, she found me on YouTube. Of course, she preferred me not to see with the wig on, but my numbers don't lie. I told Lunel, baby, my numbers don't lie. I want to continue. I like doing my show as a guy, but I'm not on here just for people to look at me. I like to make a few dollars on here, you know what I mean? And about 2 years ago, before I left Houston, where I'm at now, hey Houston, headed to Austin, my numbers were down. They were way down. I probably would get 100 views. I'm sorry, less than 100. I'll probably get 25, 30, 40, 50 views going live. Ain't nobody on here now because it's early. But and one day I was in Houston before I had moved back home, and I had did a show. I had my wig on and stuff, and I went live, and people started trolling me. What the hell is this? You ain't no woman. And then I started talking shit back to them. They was talking shit back to me. And before I know anything, when I hung up my live, I had 10,000 views, 20,000 views. I'm like, wait a minute here. And I know the buffoonery stuff is what people like, but at the end of the day, if me sitting there in front of a camera and doing celebrity gossip and talking and making people laugh, it's not bringing in the numbers. I got to do with bringing the numbers. Eventually, I believe in my heart that God would give me the desires of my heart, and I want to do my YouTube channel where I don't have to put on a wig and makeup. That'd just be something I would do on the side. I actually want to do celebrity news as myself, like I used to do when I first started out. Prime example, I don't know if y'all know who Funky Dinevia is, who I love. You can go look her up online. She's bigger than me, way bigger than me. But Funky Dinevia got started with the wig and the makeup. But he had like the mustache and beard. You are a lot of Winston in school, yeah, and that's what Lunel said. But I'm not a scholar or anything like that. I don't have big degrees and all that. I just give my old-fashioned advice that and I'm not that old yet. I'm older, but I'm not in my 70s or anything like that, or 80s. But hell, there's a lot of folks in 70s, 80s don't have common sense. So anyway, but I just came on to tell y'all that really, really shocked me when she got in contact with me, say she almost died, and I was just devastated. We talked all night last night. We talked about 3, 4 in the morning. I'm gonna go back up to my room. Yeah, we talked about till about 3 or 4 in the morning, and she was telling us, now what would have happened if you had died, and I would have fucking known. That's why I be telling people that if you're really a PT, fan, and you really like following me, and you won't, we don't have to be like in all of each other's business, but get on my Facebook and tell me who you are on YouTube so I know something ever happened to you. I'll know. I don't have Facebook. You don't have to have a real Facebook. I tell people all the time, you can use a fake Facebook name. People do it all the time. Because I know people are nosy on Facebook and you don't want everybody in your business, but you don't have to let everybody in your business. Just get a fake name. You can use a middle name and another name or your distant cousin's name. Who gonna know that? And then all you gotta do is tell me, hey PT, I'm on Facebook up under this name. Hey, how you doing? I'm on Facebook up under this name. You know what I mean? I might lose y'all because I'm going up the elevator. But anyway, y'all. I know I'm gonna go back. Did any of y'all watch me? Did any of y'all watch? Oh, anyway, I was finished. Let me finish telling y'all about the lady. I didn't even finish telling you about the lady. So let me tell you about the lady that, excuse me. Let me tell you about the lady that was, I might lose y'all because I'm going upstairs, okay? So let me tell you about the lady that I was telling you about. She was in the dark, okay? Tell me if I lose y'all. Tell me if I look distorted, okay? Because I'm going upstairs. Tell me if I look distorted. It's still good? Is it still good? I took me a good old hot shower last night. It's good? Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I'm gonna because I wanted to tell y'all the story about the lady that was in the dark. She was in the in the shelter. Good morning from Houston, Texas. Is this my room? Oh, I was looking. I said I was looking for my little thing right here when I left, and I didn't even know it was on there. So when I came to this door, I was in the wrong room. So, all right, so I'm gonna show y'all the view of Houston right quick. It's not too much of a view. Yeah, I'm old school. It's okay to say it. Oh, look, we got some lovebirds down there. Oh, they're kissing, honey. I see y'all cheating on your husband and your wife down there. I see y'all. See, people that do stuff like that, they either just got together or they cheating. One of the two. There ain't nobody that much in love like that. Uh-huh. Where's his wife at, girl? And where's your husband at, woman? I'm so messy. So let me finish telling you about the lady. So y'all need to get y'all some of this for the hotel. This right here, fabric disinfectant. It kills odor, causing bacteria. This shit right here, you need this. You need this for your room. So anyway, so the lady who was, oh, I'm up early. The lady who was in that was in the women's shelter. I have a picture of her too in my phone. She had told me she was in a shelter. We became really good friends, and she finally got her life together. She got a life together. She moved out of the shelter. She got into a relationship with another guy or something like she was telling me, and it was good, and she was happy. And all of a sudden, she called me one day on Facebook. That's why I tell y'all, you got to follow me on Facebook to tell me who you are. So if something happened to you, I need to know. For those who want to know me that well. Because see, my Facebook page is my middle name and my dad's last name. And I do have a Facebook page with my family on there, but I don't share that with everybody. So my Facebook is just for YouTube and Facebook stuff. So she hit me up on Facebook. She was like, PT, I need to talk to you. It's very important. I said, oh shit, not again. I said, yeah, well, hold on. I'm gonna hit you up right now. We're gonna talk, see what's going on. When she went live with me, y'all, listen to this. Hold on, somebody. So when she went live with me, she was laying in the ICU with breathing machines all up in her mouth and her nose. I said, "What is going on with you?" She said, "PT, I have COVID." The lady who was beaten and abused by her man was laying in the hospital with COVID, and I was devastated. And I tried to not get too emotional while she was talking to me because I didn't want her to, I didn't want her to, I wanted her, I was giving her positive vibes. So I said, "Baby, you're going to be just fine." I said, "How long you been in there?" She said, "For 3 days. And I don't think I'm going to make it, PT." I said, "Oh, you're going to make it. You're going to be fine." Whew. She, I said, "Do me a favor. Get in contact with, let your people know who I am. They know you, PT. They know you. They know who you are. They know you and everything." And they know. And she said, "I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be." And 3 days later, she died. She died 3 days later. I just felt like that was just so unfair. The woman had been through abuse and almost got killed. And I mean, she said her abuse was on another level, like torture abuse from her boyfriend. And I just thought, sometimes, sometimes I ask God, why? Why do people have to go through stuff like that and then they die like that? It just doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make sense at all. And she passed away. And that was another one of my sad stories about people who follow me. And imagine if I hadn't had her on my Facebook page, I would have never known that she died. I would have never known that she passed away. Because a lot of people that follow me on YouTube are like family. Some, not all. Some are like family until they do the wrong thing. Like I had somebody who, and you know what? Let me just say it, because I know they're watching, and I want them to know why I'm upset with them. So I remember when I first went out of town. I won't say where, but I went out of town, and this person was one of my moderators that were following me and everything. And we were really cool. We had each other's phone numbers, and we were really cool. And I remember when I went to this state, I ain't gonna say where, to do a show, I remember hearing him saying,